Have you ever did the opposite of what you were called to do? And somehow you found yourself spiraling in sin? See, some of your biggest battles don't happen when you're doing too much. They happen when you stop doing what God called you to do. Because a person can defeat a lion, a bear, and a Goliath. But the one battle we sometimes miss is the battle inside us anyways. Welcome to Trap Bible Stories. Yo, so I was reading my Bible, right? And in 2 Samuel 11 through 12, God snapped when David got his homie wife pregnant. Y'all just can't be the same David after God's heart. But let me rewind, because it all started when King David was supposed to be at war. But nah, he was like, I'ma stay home and chill. Y'all, that was mistake number one, because you know what they say about idle hands. Because David wasn't just a king doing what kings do by going to war. David was already a warrior before he became king, so he wasn't just out of place as a king. He was out of place in his gift. Anyways, so y'all, one night, while David was taking a break up on his rooftop, probably sipping some BC cognac, y'all, he sees her, Bathsheba, a baddie taking a bath. So y'all, David gonna call his servants over and gonna say, hey, who is that? Go find out who shorty is. So y'all, they came back like, king, that's Bathsheba, your soldier, Uriah's wife. David was like, Uriah? They were like, yes, king, you know him. He's one of your most loyal soldiers out there fighting your war. David was like, y'all shoulders right, but do me a favor, bring her to me. Hold on. Not only is Bathsheba somebody else's wife, David already got wives, multiple. This ain't a man looking for love. This is a man looking for something that don't belong to him. Anyways, y'all, he ain't waste no time. Bathsheba comes over, and let's just say the king ain't just offer her tea and biscuits. Y'all, he was like, so you married, huh? Bathsheba was like, yeah. David was like, but are you happy? Pause. Y'all, here's the part that gets me, because the Bible never blames Bathsheba for what David was about to do. But it also doesn't imply that Bathsheba resisted. See, this was a time where kings killed women, and she could have been a martyr, but that doesn't happen because David took her to his room. The next thing you know, she's writing David like, dear king, I don't know how to say this, but I'm pregnant. You my baby daddy, so what we gonna do? Y'all, immediately David read the letter and panicked. He was like, what the faith am I gonna do now? So y'all, David did what any person who couldn't control their lust would do. He covered with more sin. He was like, hey guard, bring me Uriah. So y'all, he calls Bathsheba's husband Uriah back from the battlefield and tried to finesse him. He was like, Uriah, my boy, you've been working so hard, I know you miss your wife. Go home, relax, spend some time with her. You know we can't be without our women. Wink, wink. But y'all, Uriah was too loyal. He was like, nah, king, my boy's out there fighting. I can't go home and chill while they're struggling. But David was like, bruh, I'm the king. This is my war and my battle. Go home. So y'all, Uriah left. And when it got dark, David thought he solved his baby mama problem. But he didn't. Cause guess who outside the palace gates snoring? Uriah. Yo, this man still ain't went home. So David was like, bruh, why are you sleeping outside? Uriah was like, the ark, Joab, your other boy general, is intense, and my brothers are sleeping on the battlefield. And you want me to sleep comfortably at home? No, king, I can't. And how can I enjoy my wife while they risking their lives? So David's like, alright, come have a drink with me. Y'all, David tried to get this man drunk so he could go home, but guess what? He still didn't go. So y'all, David did the unthinkable. He wrote a letter to Joab, his general, and was like, yo, don't read this out loud. Put Uriah on the front lines in the battlefield, and then fall back and leave him there so he gets killed. Pause. Y'all, and that wasn't the worst part. When David finished writing the letter, he gave it to Uriah to give to Joab and told him to go back to the battlefield. Y'all, Uriah carried his own execution letter. So Joab gets the letter and does exactly what David said. Then he sent word back to David that Uriah was dead. So Bathsheba was like, my husband, oh Lord, why? Y'all, she was mourning her husband, but David was like, oh, that's crazy. This is so sad. Anyways, you try to move in? So y'all, he marries her, and she becomes wife number 8 or 9. But listen, God was watching. So y'all, God sends the prophet Nathan to pull up on David. Nathan was like, King David. David was like, yes. Nathan was like, king! It was a rich man with a whole flock of sheep and a poor man with one little lamb he loved like family. The rich man had guests over, and instead of cooking one of his own sheep, he took the poor man's lamb, y'all. David was listening to Nathan. He was hot. He was like, that man needs to die. Where's he? He needs to give that man 4 lambs. Who does he think he is? That's when Nathan was like, the man is you, David. God sent me here to remind you he gave you everything. Houses, protection, the throne, and you took your rightest wife in his life. Y'all, David fell on his face and said, oh Lord, I have sinned, but God, please create in me a clean heart and renew in me a right spirit. I know I did wrong. God, please don't take your spirit away from me. That's when Nathan said, the Lord has forgiven you and you will live, but because what you did, you displeased God. Your newborn will die. And y'all, sure enough, the baby was sick for 7 days, and although David fasted, prayed, and fell on the ground pleading with God, the baby still passed away. David mourned but continued to fast and pray. But after the baby died, y'all, he didn't blame God for the consequence. He cleaned himself up, ate, and went to comfort Bathsheba. And eventually, they had another son, Solomon, you know, the wisest king ever, but had tendencies like his daddy. But that's a whole other story. Anyways, moral of the story. The scariest part of this passage isn't Bathsheba or just adultery. The scariest part is that it started with him being comfortable being somewhere God never told him to be. Because one bad decision became another, and another, and another. And before he knew it, the giant killer was hiding bodies. That's why you don't just pray for victory. You pray for discipline. Because sometimes the battle isn't the giant in front of you. It's the battle inside of you. Anyways, now go read it for yourself too. Samuel 11:12. I want to know what y'all learned. This is Trap Bible Stories with Tam Watts. Get the Trap Bible Stories Volume 1 and 2 right now on Amazon. Get the audio at trapbiblestories.com. Like and comment for more. Follow. And I'll see you on the next video.
We learned the scripture, mama, we made it. Been reading the Bible, Genesis to Revelations. These Bible stories, pain and the glory. God get the glory from every story. Bible stories, trap. This is the trap Bible story. Trap Bible story. We learn the scripture. Mama, we made it. Been reading the Bible, Genesis to Revelation.